Hello. This is the Awful and Awesome Entertainment Wrap, episode 260. This is Rajyasree.
And this is Abhinandan and Sekhri. We bring you this episode which is going to be behind the paywall. So just the video bit and few chosen excerpts are going to be outside the paywall. From this episode onwards, the Awful and Awesome has officially gone behind the paywall. Rajyasree, better be worth it. And this weekend, something else is happening. What is happening on Saturday? No, on Sunday, sorry. Sunday, 6 o'clock. Tell us.
Man Ki Baat. In a way, it's
Well-
our Man Ki Baat.
It's your Man Ki Baat.
We have a live recording of the Awful and Awesome at India International Centre Annex
Yes.
in Delhi. So if you're in any other city, you're most welcome to catch a flight and come. Not a Spice Jet flight. Any other flight. But it's at 5:30 p.m. and it's only for subscribers.
6 p.m. Yes, only for subscribers.
6
Seminar Hall, Kamala Devi Complex, IIC Delhi near Khan Market. Only subscribers can come. You can get a +1, but that person has to go back having subscribed. And Raj will be doing signings of these books. Show Rajyasree. Hold it up to camera. Nice. So the book is called Sweet Dish Banane Ke 101 Vyanjan. Isn't that what it's called?
What is it called?
Sweet Dish Banane
You
Ke.
tell me seriously what it's called now.
It's
You can't
called-
see, it's the
I
wrong
can
way.
see.
What is it called?
It's called the Sweet Kitchen.
That's very good. It must be written over there.
So Rajyasree Sen, we have a very interesting mix of things that we have to watch this
As
this
usual.
week. As usual, ko to pata nahi, but you'll be thrilled to know. You'll glad to know. Sorry.
You're
glad.
glad to know.
That's right. You'll glad to know that after a very long time, I don't know about her, but I have watched something that is so delightfully wonderful. I will not say spectacular because it's not a spectacle. It is amazing because of its ordinariness, but it is crafted by someone who understands cinema. It is a piece of art. And it was my recommendation. Just
It was not your recommendation. We'll explain what happened.
explain.
Basically,
But first, we have, come on, Truffle Hunter. These are films. Series called Broken News. And Darlings ka ek teaser and two controversies. One is Oscar winner Rasul Pukutri has landed in a controversy calling RRR a gay love story and he's banned it. And the Kaali poster Rao, I'm sure you guys have heard about this. So tell us, why is it not my recommendation?
because Abhinandan opened so we have this sheet which Abhinandan never looked
Don't
at.
have to give the Ram Katha,
But-
just come to the
But
point.
he looked at it and on it was written the Truffle Hunter. Now, this had been explained to him offline also that there are two films that I've watched in the middle of the air and he doesn't have to watch it because he'd have to be in the middle of the air as well.
Every film you watch in the middle of the air, because witches are usually on their broom, even when they're watching in cinemas, they're just hovering.
Okay.
So it could be any
And
film if you watch
no.
it in air.
And I said, just watch Broken News. Yesterday, Abhinandan told me that I've watched Truffle Hunter. So I just asked him, I said, where did you watch it?
Because according to her, it was only available on the Emirates flight.
Yeah. So he said on Amazon Prime. So then I knew something was wrong. So I said, did it have Nicolas Cage in it? And there was silence on the other side. And he said, no, there were dogs and there were
Old Italian
old
men.
Italian men. So I said, this is something else you have watched. But
But it's called the Truffle Hunters.
because he watched it, I then had to watch it because
Say thank you. So
No.
basically, ghoom phir ke, it was my discovery. I discovered it and it is karma. That when I discover something, it turns out to be beautiful. When you discover something, it turns
Then-
out to be either whatever, it's an Akshay Kumar film or
Akshay
it's
Kumar film, RRR,
RRR or
discuss-
something like that you'll discover.
You discovered and watched.
So first, let me just tell you about the Truffle Hunter. Okay, the Truffle Hunters. It's an Italian documentary film. It is directed by Michael Dweck and Gregory Kershaw. Produced by them, and the cinematography is also by them, as is common in documentary films of especially this genre. It is a group, or it's basically the protagonists are four men, and they're two dealers also of truffles. And I think this is a specific kind of truffle. It's called the Alba truffle.
Yeah.
Truffle is a kind of, it's a fungus which grows underground. I'll just come to that a little later. But the plot is these four men who are aging. Two of them are very old and two of them are kind of getting towards very old, who hunt truffles. And then they sell them, and truffles are this highly prized, kya kehte hain? Delicacy.
Yeah.
in the market. You have
And it's
truffle
very
shavings.
expensive.
It's very expensive. It's like right now, I think the price could be almost 10 lakhs a kilo.
So why this Alba truffle is considered very precious is because science has not been able to figure out how to.
Hmm.
It's correct.
Carry on. I'm not saying
To
anything.
grow this truffle. So
It's not just true for Alba truffle, any truffle.
no other truffles they can figure out.
Rajyasree,
I'm
this
just
is,
saying.
guys, this is fake news. Morel truffles in India, it's called Gucci. In Kashmir, it's
Morels
called
are
Gucci.
mushrooms. They are not truffles.
I know, but they are both from the fungus
Huh.
family. Okay,
That to some people
you
we
cannot
know
farm
also.
them, and you cannot farm any kind of truffle or morel because the only thing that is known is that they grow in the underground near the roots of 4 kind of trees. One of them being oak. I don't know what the other 3 are. And other than them, science has not been able to tell what makes truffles grow. But there is, I mean, in India, we know what it is. So, do you know, Rajyasree,
What?
what makes truffles grow?
Dirt.
No. So basically, you have to have that tree, and you have to have
Hmm.
a lot of wetness and
Hmm.
lightning and chudail ke aasoo.
So in my garden,
so whenever you
you've
cry,
noticed, huh?
whenever you cry, find an oak tree, and if there's lightning, go and cry there.
We will be in front of people
We
on
will-
Sunday.
We will become millionaires. We will have
You
truffle.
won't need subscribers only.
You won't need subscribers.
We'll
so
be
all you need-
funded by Morels.
So right now it's monsoon.
Huh.
There's a lot of lightning, thunder, rain.
This is what I do.
Find out where is the oak tree near your house, and think of something. Watch anything.
I don't
watch
have
an
to think of you. Come
watch-
and give me one
watch
whack and
watch
I'll start
Akshay,
crying.
watch Akshay Kumar film or Ajay Devgan film.
Yeah, that would make me cry.
And
also.
you cry. Chudail
Or
ke
Tiger
Aasoo.
Shroff's
That's it.
films.
We've got morels. Anyway, so that's why you can't farm these. They're extremely expensive. They can go up to 10 lakh to 12 lakh a kilo. And it is a beautiful film. It is just amazing. Before I consult my notes, Rashi, what do you think about this film?
So I love the film. It's set in Italy, in Piedmont, Italy. And the reason why it's nice also is because when we discuss the Truffle Hunter with Nicolas Cage, it's it's also about a truffle hunter. But the lives of these old men who are truffle hunters and their dogs, and the relationships with these dogs who are very cute, I have to say, all the hounds who they've got.
Biba.
Yeah, and so cutely he calls. And one man has a wife who plays a part in this film. Otherwise, none of the others have anyone pretty much in their lives. And this film, the Nicolas Cage film, is about this thing of selling. The selling to the. Don't conflate.
Don't thuso your mediocre recommendations
very good.
into the pieces of art that I have discovered.
But
The Truffle Hunters is my truffle.
That's your truffle. Who hunted it? You're the hunter. You're the dog. Or you're the old man.
Just get to the point.
Okay. But so I thought even that opening frame of you just see the dog run. That's no escape. And it's just there's hardly any conversations between human beings. It's mainly between those men and their dogs and them looking for truffles, the lives that they lead, which is like they don't have any modern contraptions or anything.
So
they
they live
seem so happy.
In rural Italy, they live like in the real rural parts of Italy. So I'll refer to my notes.
And they sell truffles at this hype. So this is the thing which I couldn't figure out even with the Nicolas Cage one. They didn't get into it. You're selling these truffles to buyers who are paying a lot of money. Where's all that money going? Because these people stay very, very
to the
simply.
middleman. In fact, there's a podcast about truffle.
I can't.
Whenever I say there's a podcast you must listen to, she says, "Oh, please do not start a sentence." Like, can I finish my sentence?
No, everything.
No, why I can't finish my sentence?
Okay, say.
So just like you finish it, and even I should finish my sentences. Whenever I say there's a podcast you should listen, she says, "Oof, you yourself have a podcast. You should have some respect towards podcasts."
But I don't say just think if I was a dancer, which I could be, if everything I told you started with, Niku, see, there's a dance which explains this. You would say that you must.
No, I would.
say.
I would
What would you
understand
say?
that your passion and knowledge about your field is amazing.
Then how come you don't say that when I talk about dancing?
Just talk about food, and you, of course, were spreading fake news about food also only on this show. But this This film is extremely enjoyable. It is artistic excellence. Let me
Yeah.
make that very clear. The people who have made this show really understand framing, sound, music, narrative. They are masters of their craft. So, and why it was so enjoyable is because it was so unexpected. It is unlike any film you've seen. Basically, I'm not much of a foodie,
As you can make out from his size.
and I'm not much of a dog person either, and I'm not into old men either. And this film is about those three things, and it is mesmerizing. So it is because it's so unexpected. It's very unlike any other film. There's something very real and still about it. You see, because it's all, unless the dog, they have a dog cam. So whenever a dog goes hunting, they have a camera on the dog, so you get the dog's point of view. Or it is just a camera setup like the Godfather kind of frames. I think it's an Italian thing. The
Yeah.
Godfather made by an Italian, na?
Yeah.
What's his name? Francesco Totti.
Who's made? What are you doing? Mario Puzo wrote The Godfather.
If you don't know, say I don't know.
And no, yeah, you've just made me forget it.
His daughter
Martin
is also
Scorsese,
No.
Oliver Stone, Francis Ford Coppola.
Coppola, right? So
I apologize for Abhinandan screwing with my.
who's Italian?
brain.
Who's Italian? No,
I hope-
Coppola. I think
I
he's
hope
Italian.
he is
Let's check, because I think it has that
Yeah.
Italian. So in this, the frames, it's just a frame which is an exquisite frame. There's something very symmetrical about all the frames.
Francis Ford Coppola is
And then the
American.
He's American, but of Italian descent.
Well, we'll say it.
So basically, the framing is excellent. One, let me get to the rest of notes. It's very real and very still. It is a very pleasant surprise that a film like this came up in the ocean of mediocrity we've been wading through in this podcast, thanks to Rajyasree Chudail's recommendations. And later only, because I was first very surprised that, oh, what a wonderful film she's recommended. And I was impressed.
Were you impressed?
And then later I
Huh?
realized it is not the one she recommended, so much for that. So the impression was gone.
So funny.
There's really long dialogue, and just like Godfather, it's a very still frame. Maybe it's an Italian thing, but some of the dialogue will just make you laugh out loud. Like two of the men are getting very old. So one of them, he has no family, and he has a dog he really loves, who he treats as his daughter. And he's saying, I have to find a home for you before I die, because I'm going to die very soon. And,
But his plan is a very good plan, I felt.
and he leave his house and his money, and this one man wants to buy his dog. So because there's a guy who's trying to convince him to sell his dog, because by the way, they find morels not by going and digging. All of them have dogs, and these dogs they can smell out truffles.
Yeah.
So they go with their dogs, and all these other truffle, people who are into the trade try to poison their dogs, so these guys don't find the truffles and finish them, because these guys sell them very cheap. So there's that tragic element. One of them loses his dog. It's very sad, and the way he cries. So this guy says, and I told that guy in Italian, he's telling his dog. He's telling someone else that he said, I'll give you 5,000 euro for your dog.
Huh.
So he says, do you have wife and children? He said, yeah. He says, come tomorrow, we'll discuss it. He says, next day he came with his wife. He says, you have children again? He says, yeah, I have two. He says, okay, I'm just going to the bank and getting 50,000 euro. You give me one of your children.
But that's the kind of thing I would say. When people say I gave up
Okay,
my
so
dog.
I won't spoil too much of it. So the old Italian men are very cool and very charming. So this coming from someone who is half Punjabi, half Tamil, both very races, ethnicities who are that we are the best. There is nothing quite as charming as an old Italian man. Old Punjabi men and old Tamil men are just annoying as fuck. Even that guy who keeps sneaking out to find Morel, and his wife is sick
and
of
his
him.
wife. But she calls so sweetly. She calls him every evening.
And I mean, it's just some very banal conversations and banal tasks that are happening. The camera is just observing. The aesthetics of framing are outstanding. It's a tutorial on framing. This film is a tutorial on framing. Do watch it without sets and lighting. Carlo, the henpecked, and Biba's owner,
Yeah.
Biba's father, he is the best. The music is outstanding. It gels so well with the rest of the film. The dog camera I loved. And the dog follows very cute. And the dog follows and the camera goes...
Yeah.
It was very sweet. So
The dogs are just very cute.
and this
and-
film goes on to prove that Abhinandan suggests very classy stuff
That
only.
also is in your
That's
note.
also. And
That's
Rajyasree only suggests
That's also there.
chudail type
That
things.
you've written?
So,
Just in case you forgot, because
but-
you never say this without notes.
and so
Huh?
and so many laugh out loud moments. But one thing I don't understand is why is he going hunt? Why is it called hunting? Because it's not like the morels or the.
No, but you're hunting
not-
for it. That's hunting. That's
No, you're
also hunting.
searching. You're looking.
It's like a tell me those
Treasure hunt.
treasure hunt. It's not like I'm hunting with a gun. You're searching for something. See, English is a very
Funny
evolved
language. I can speak
Evolved.
English that I can leave the Angrez behind.
that you definitely can.
So please do yourself a favor in life. Watch Truffle Hunters. Watch it with someone who means something to you.
Watch it with your dog.
It is. I mean, the funny moments are so. They're not funny because there's a punchline or there's a gag. They're funny because it's so real and banal and sweet. Hats off to whoever made this.
And
We know
it's
who
so
it is.
nice to see, people who are so passionate about these men are so passionate about truffle hunting
Yeah.
and trading and that, because they could definitely also that they could have far more fancy lives than they have.
In fact, one of them says that he stopped hunting for truffle and he has forest land, and his land, some of the best truffles used to come out of. So someone's asking him permission that can I dig your land for truffles? Can I go truffle hunting in your land? He says, no, we used to go truffle hunting because it is a time to spend time with nature and spend time with our
Yeah.
dogs. Getting truffle was just an outcome of that walk you took with your dog. So your dog searched for something, you searched for something, and you came home and gave truffles to your family. Now it's become a business. So I will not hunt for truffles myself, and I will not allow anyone to hunt for truffles in
Yeah.
my forest.
So watch it. It's on Amazon Prime, and the one which I watched, which Abhinandan was
Suppose
supposed to watch.
But thanks God, मैं बच गया.
What did you watch on your Emirates flight? You did watch something. The Great Kitchen,
The Great
Indian
Indian
Kitchen.
Kitchen and other
One
stuff.
film you watched on the full flight.
I must have slept and read a book.
Oh, or you read the menu. I said, I will have this to eat. That's
Number
it.
3.
Number 3 is looking nice. So, the Truffle Hunter, which is actually this film called Pig with Nicolas Cage in it. But it's called, so I think they've called it the Truffle Hunter on Emirates flights because they can't have pig.
A film called Pig on an Islamic
Yeah, I
country's
really
flight.
think so because I've just checked whether it's been released elsewhere as Truffle Hunter and it hasn't. So even I didn't, I was scrolling
It's
through
a
the
plausible explanation.
Yeah, because
but
it-
just as long as we know it's a theory by Rajyasree.
a theory. My theories are usually based in fact though, or become fact. Like most things in politics also. Say it enough times it becomes the truth. But this film is just fabulous. It is directed by Michael Sarnowski, who it's his directorial debut, and it's from a story by Vanessa Block and Sarnowski. Nicolas Cage plays a truffle hunter. It's set in Portland, Oregon. And the reason it's set in Portland, Oregon is Oregon has a very large this truffle hunting culture and
Organoflakes.
yeah, and it has these fancy restaurants which
And
use-
organoflakes.
This is what Abhinandan does when I'm saying something which he hasn't watched, because then if I do, how you snap at me. Look at my good nature.
I said 2 words, organoflakes.
Keep quiet.
I don't come in and continue with the sentence.
Okay. So Nicolas Cage plays a truffle hunter who looks like he's not had a bath or seen civilization for some 10, 15 years.
Like these men.
Like these men. And now it makes a lot of sense also when you, clearly these
I educate people. That's
I
what
think
do.
it's the Italian, the filmmaker who educated.
noodles basta. I'm sorry,
Our
I'm Punjabi.
Italian subscribers.
Our Italians are pissed off. This is as much free, awful and awesome as you get. The rest is behind the paywall. The audio version, wherever you get your podcast, subscribe and listen to the complete unedited version of this podcast on our podcast player. Download the app. It will be most helpful for you to listen to this podcast smoothly without any problem. Rajyasree. The subscription model is something that keeps Newslaundry afloat, but we need hundreds of thousands of people to completely transform the news ecosystem. So you pay for news, so it serves you. So click on the link with this video, subscribe to News Laundry and pay to keep news free और गर्व से कहो मेरे खर्च पर आज़ाद है खबरें.